Welcome to It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. What is it? It's everything. Everything you want in life starts with courage.
I got some new coffee. I'm going to give a plug to Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Sponsor us.
It's a veteran-owned coffee company, and portion of the proceeds from if you order from them go to support the vets.
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool, I'm going to, I like coffee. I'm going to drink. I'm going to order coffee. Yeah. And so it had all these fancy coffees, and I was like, oh, I just want the just black coffee.
Yeah.
So it comes in a box of artillery shells, like of the K cups, and on the top on the label, it doesn't say like Black Rifle Coffee. It says JB on it.
Yeah. Just black.
Just black.
Black.
So
black.
now I'm like, Jen Burns, this is my coffee. Jen Burns, just
Jen.
black. It's meant to be.
Well, I might have to try it out because I think, people think that my energy all comes from coffee.
Oh, yeah, because that's your secret sauce in your workout.
Sauce. Thinking about energy, positivity. I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about approach to life and situations. And I think it really got me thinking. Whenever people talk to me, they all say, oh, you're such a positive person. And for as long as I can remember, I know I'm a positive person, even in situations that aren't so happy. I'm constantly that, oh, look on the brighter side type of person. And I tend not to wallow in grief or be sad or, I don't live there for very long. And as I was talking to this person, they said, well, sometimes things aren't always okay and things aren't always going to be okay. And he said something along the lines of, toxic positivity, because I know there's been toxic femininity and blah, 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 toxic masculinity. And I started to look a bit more into it. And for a second, I thought, is that me? Am I a toxically positive person? It had me worried. I'm never going to lie. So I know Jen's looking at me like I'm crazy. But for some of you out there who are like, Catherine, what the heck are you talking about?
Oh, that's me.
Yes. Toxic positivity being, always responding to negative emotions with that glass half full type of energy that look on the brighter side, or it could be worse when someone gives you, tells you what they're going through. And I don't know, I want you to talk through this with me.
Okay.
I think the more I've been reading, the more I've realized it's either you, I guess people can perceive you as that person who is the toxic positive person, or you're that person who feels they are on the receiving end of constant toxic positivity. And what I've learned is toxic positivity encourages people to ignore difficult negative emotions, and I guess makes them feel like they can't acknowledge difficult or negative emotions. I know I'm blabbering a lot, but follow me, guys. So imagine, I don't know, something, you don't have a good day today. You're at work, you had maybe a project that was due.
Somebody bought $1 million house without me.
There we go. Someone bought $1 million house with that. And it may have been really important to you because that was your first $1 million house. You had been working to do, the advertising, all of that, and it falls through, right? Mm-hmm. And you come to Catherine, this is what's happened. Oh, it's been a bad day, blah, 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 blah. And I say, well, at least you sold other houses. At least, there are people out there who aren't selling houses, right? Mm-hmm. And what I've heard is people feel like maybe this, I personally don't think like positivity is a bad thing, because I realize that's what's helped me cope by looking on the brighter side of things. But maybe there can be the wrong time to look on the brighter side of things because you just wanted to come and vent and say, it's been a shitty day and I've been working so hard on this, and let you have that moment. But by me saying, get over it, Jen, it's kind of like saying,
don't feel the feelings you're feeling.
yeah.
Well, I think you're right in some respect, but I think like no matter what it is, we should all. I feel like you're trying to say that maybe we rush people through that negative stage instead of letting them have a little bit of like pity party or feel like negative feelings, and you're just like positively trying to get them through it, because when we're there and somebody is hurting or not feeling good or having a bad day, the first thing we try to do is fix it, right? We always want to make them feel better. And so we try to bring the positive aspect that maybe they're not looking at it that way. We try to bring that into the picture. And in return, we're not letting them get through their emotions and really process it.
Yeah.
I think there's times where, like I've read a quote, like, again, no clue where I heard this first, so I can't, I can't really, give credit to anybody, but like 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years is what you're going through going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 days? Is it going to matter in 5 years? The fact that I didn't sell that $1 million house today going to matter in 5 days? No, not really. It's not. It's definitely not going to matter in 5 years.
Right.
So if it's not going to matter in 5 years, like we should have some sort of time frame that we allow ourselves to like get through it. And I think we have to have the intuition to see our friends and family members when they're hurting.
Yeah.
To kind of like, is this like I lost a sale, or is this like my best friend died in a car crash? I mean, that's 2 levels of bad day.
Yeah.
Right. And so we as friends, we need to like, okay, I lost a sale. That could be, you can say positive things and get me out of my funk. I lost my best friend. You're not going to say positive things and get me out of funk. You just need to put your arm around me and like, let me like feel it and grieve. Do you agree?
I agree, because I think from what I've heard, sometimes people receive it as me failing to empathize, failing to, I guess they feel not listened to, because it's almost, as you said, you are that fixer, that I'm coming to you with a problem rather than just letting me vent. You are, there's a solution, there's a solution, there's a solution. And I think for me, it's really opened my eyes to ask the question, can I sit through a difficult time or moment with someone and just allow them to have that difficult moment? Because I think I realize that it's important to grieve. It's important to actually, while I may have a positive outlook on things, sometimes things aren't going to be okay. And by constantly saying, look on the brighter side, look on the brighter side, can you actually be setting somebody up for bigger disappointment? Because I'm saying everything's going to be okay, but what if it actually isn't okay? And I think for me, maybe this has just been a moment for me. I think I can't sit through difficult moments with other people because I don't sit through difficult moments with myself.
Oh.
Yes. All difficult moments, I think it has always been everything happens for a reason.
Just push through it.
It could be worse.
Just push
through it.
Well, that goes back to the first episode when your dad died and you were like, I'm going to school.
Right.
It started back then.
Right. But what I'm realizing is that we are all engineered differently, especially when it comes to emotions. And what works for me, it doesn't do, at least I don't see that it's done me any harm. to have a positive outlook. It's what's worked for me. And I mean, this episode's difficult for me because I guess I'm trying to speak to that person who feels that they may be on the receiving end of too much positivity, that it makes them feel like they can't acknowledge their negative emotions, or they can't be in a difficult place. If you are surrounded by people who are constantly positive, I guess it's not that they're not listening to you. It's just that, as you said, they want to fix it. They want you to be better. They want to take that away, but it's not that they are not listening.
Yeah, and I think like if you're talking to that person, they, what we would encourage, I think, them to do is just to, like, if I had a bad day and I came to you and I'm like, I know that you're very positive and you're going to hit me with all the positive quotes or the positive, look on the brighter side. If that's not what you need to vocalize to your friends, to the person that you're going to go to with something that's heavy. Like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. I don't need you to fix it. I need you to listen to me and like, let me have somebody to put my head on their shoulder and cry, or give me a hug, or let me know, hey, I'm going to be here through it. It may not be okay. It may not turn out how you want it to turn out, but right now, all I need is somebody to listen to me, not to fix it. And I think if you can vocalize that with your friends that are normally those positive people, like you're both gonna be able to handle the situation a little bit better.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, because somebody said that to me, and I'd actually put it as a note to say, how can you go around this, whether if you're that person on the receiving end or you're that person who is positive. And I think it is exactly what you said, encouraging that open dialogue to say, hey, this is actually what I want from this conversation. I don't want you to fix it. I don't want you to offer me a solution. I just want you to listen. And I think for that person, for me, sometimes it's an eye opener to say, Catherine, just shut up.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to talk to you because I want to hear what you have to say. I'm coming to talk to you because I
need somebody.
I just need somebody. I want you to know this is what I'm going through. And for me, that's big for someone to communicate that, hey, I'm not looking for all of that, because that is my number one.
Right.
I'm listening, but I'm listening to
solve the problem.
To solve the problem. And everybody doesn't want their problem solved. They want you to listen. So open dialogue. Yeah. I don't know. Is it just me, or out there, guys, are you somebody who feels like you've experienced toxic positivity, as I've called it, or too much positivity? How does it make you feel? Do you feel like they're not listening, or that they don't empathize? Or are you on the other end where you are somebody who has that positive outlook on life? And how has it affected your friendships, relationships, and how you talk to people and or how people approach you?
Yeah, and how do you handle being in a hard moment with a friend or family member? That's super tough, and we don't have all the answers here. We're just bringing up topics that we are going through in life, and that we feel like other people may be going through, that maybe you're not getting these conversations with your immediate friend group. And so we would love to hear, like Kat said, she struggles being in that moment with people, and I think that probably we all do to some degree. So if you have come up with a good way or something to handle those kinds of situations, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to this episode of It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. If you like this episode of the podcast, visit our website, iswcpodcast.com, for show notes and other cool things.